Seems like I've got a lot to tell you, but we'll save it for the show. Oh, here comes the cat.
I was about to say, you got your cat ready?
She's right here. Is it time? Is it time?
Is it time for the show?
Oh, man.
All right.
I'm ready to hit record whenever.
Okay. I'm ready.
3, 2, 1, record. Testing.
Looks good. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to turn into a shadowy figure. This is blinding me.
Fine.
Yeah.
So, when you see radio broadcasters and fancy podcasters like Rob McCallum, they have this screen in front of their microphone. What's that for?
It's a pop filter, so that when we go, it doesn't blow up you'll see whenever you go to edit this episode. And the people listening on YouTube are probably yeah. So
okay,
it's so that every time you say an abrupt something, it doesn't blow up the audio.
Yeah. Okay,
but we're such gentle speakers that we don't have to really worry about it.
We're regular NPR talkers here.
Yeah, we don't get heated like those other podcasters do. So,
you ever watch Parks and Recreation?
Should we just start the show? So that this is
let's just start the show.
Oh yeah, we can continue this conversation.
All right.
Give me a couple seconds to get a drink. Hey, Justin.
What's up, man?
Just walking around.
Walking around?
Yeah.
Looks like you're just sitting there.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here. I don't know why I said that.
Well,
I don't even know how I'd be able to walk around anyways. All these cords tied to me.
We're not fancy wireless podcasters.
No, we're not.
Right.
We're actually the least fancy podcasters I know, I think.
It's always cool when, this is kind of a tangent already. When you go to a live concert, a live show, and with all, and let's be honest, the wireless guitar hookup is pretty cheap now, considerably speaking. Any band could probably afford it, but it's always cool when you see a big name band and there's one guy that's still got a wire.
He's old school. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
Everybody else in the band's dude, come on.
Mm-hmm.
Quit being tethered down by that. I'm not doing it.
Speaking of which, I was in Pigeon Forge the other day, or Gatlinburg. Okay. Mm-hmm. And
giving a concert.
Right. Well, have you been I don't know if you've been to Gatlinburg lately and walked around, but where the old Smoky Mountain moonshine is and Mellow Mushroom is, there's a little cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
There's a stage, and there's they're playing bluegrass, right?
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. I love
Okay.
It.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. The only thing is, one of my favorite instruments, for some unknown reason, is the stand-up bass, right?
Okay.
And it's just funny to see an electric stand-up bass. And it's just this little skinny bar.
Yeah.
And 4 strings.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And it's I want to see the big, huge instrument. Somebody up there really, It's kind of like the electric cello. You see somebody playing the electric cello, and it's just this little bitty skinny thing, and it's it should be a massive.
Do you think this is how people felt back in the day when people started playing electric guitars?
Probably.
I do not want to see somebody using that thing.
Of course, the early electric guitars, I guess, maybe were big, like the jumbos. But but yeah, when the Fender, the Stratocasters started coming around, they were probably
the purest of that.
No, it's garbage.
Well, so today, what game are we talking about? It's been so long. I don't even
I know. We've tried to record this only about 8 times
Right.
in the past
Right.
2 weeks. So we were originally supposed to record this 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
And
we had a big computer meltdown.
Right. We were set up, ready to go. Both of us awake. Both of us ready to record the podcast. And my computer just would not come on. Like, it kept updating. Like, it went, okay, I was still operating on Windows 8. I know, I'm a square. And it went through an update. And after that update, it kept, every time it would turn on, it would just keep, like, acting like it was updating. And then it would restart, and then it would restart the process. And it would never fix. So then I had to get, like, my reboot disk out and everything, and reboot it to back up to Windows 8. Then, after that, updated to Windows 10 and have been running smoothly ever since.
I like Windows 10.
Yeah.
Especially compared to 8.
But then we've tried to record it several more times, and it's like
most of the other times have been my fault because I've been so bogged down in my.
Well, I've been bogged down too. It's just been a kind of a nightmare. Otherwise, it's one of those things. It's like, if we don't record this on Sunday morning, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, that's kind
of so busy.
We're so busy. Yeah, it's just, man. Maybe, both of us, our schedules are probably going to lighten up as the year goes on, or at least I think. I know mine will, obviously, but maybe yours won't line up until next year. But
we'll have to talk about this maybe more off the air. But I'll just go ahead and say we'll probably have to take another break around April and May, because as you had to take a break for your big exam in November.
You got one coming up?
I've got 2. I've got licensing exams May 28th and June 6th. So
this is real interesting podcasting.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to licensing exams and
in our NPR voice.
Yes, we got the licensing exams, and anyways, we'll try to make sure we stay on top of things leading up to another break.
Yeah,
maybe even squeeze in a couple more here and there, so that we
couple more what
podcasts.
Oh yeah,
I mean, if we keep doing on Sunday, we'll be fine. If we can stick to the Sunday,
I think from here on out we shouldn't have any problems. And a couple more Patreon episodes I think are going to be cooking.
Yeah, and hopefully when we come back from break, maybe this little teaser. I got a good idea for a Patreon. I think I mentioned it to you already. I think we should do maybe over the summer. We could do a series of Michael and Justin try to fix the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's election season, so we could just tell everybody what they're supposed to do to fix the world.
So
we can do that maybe over the summer. The funny thing is, I don't know. It could turn into a shouting match because Justin and I don't exactly see eye to eye on several things. But could be interesting.
It'd be fun.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
We're talking about Willow.
Oh yeah, Willow. I thought we was playing Zelda.
They're very similar.
Yeah.
Really.
No, yeah. We're talking about Willow. This was actually a Patreon pick from. I think it's from Chris.
All right, Chris.
The last name escapes me. I think it's really. I would probably pronounced it wrong anyways, if I would have remembered it.
Now I wonder if Chris liked the movie. I think everybody liked the movie from like our generation.
Yeah, I remember liking it.
Did you like the movie?
I remember liking it. I don't remember liking it very much.
It's kind of like this epic Lord of the Rings style movie with a lot of comedy. I don't know if the comedy was meant to be there.
Chris Vanderhoff. Vanderhoff. Sorry. Thanks for the pick, by the way, Chris.
Yeah, no, thanks. I don't know if the comedy was meant to be there, but I certainly thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried. I'm a little bit worried that the PC police might get us this episode if we're not careful. And I'm a little bit. I do wonder a little bit if because I haven't seen the movie in a long time. Is it something that was good as far as that goes, or is it something that they probably wouldn't release these days?
You know,
Or is it like
I
a
think it was
positive
fine.
message? It's like a positive thing, right?
It's like a positive message. But what's funny is it was a little known. I think a lot of people forgot that it was a George Lucas film. Because
I
we think
definitely
about
forgot that.
George.
Yeah.
Everybody thought it was thanks George Lucas. They think two things, right? Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
But he actually made Willow, and Willow was supposed to be a 3-part series. This was only supposed to be the first movie, and I guess it was just got tepid reviews, and it just kind of got dropped. But yeah, so I don't understand why any movie with Val Kilmer would get tepid reviews. But
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
have you seen Batman?
I've seen Batman. Yeah, it's great. My second favorite Batman
is Val Kilmer.
Yeah. Can you guess my first favorite?
George Clooney.
Of course. Mr. Clooney.
What's funny is I really liked the Batman and Robin, that movie, when I was like a kid.
Yeah.
And like going back on it now, I think it was on TV like not too long ago, and I watched it, a little bit of it, and I was like, oh man, this is terrible. So, yeah.
I think the idea was that it was meant for kids and to sell toys and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you ever read the theory that the 3 Batmans, or maybe it's just like the Batman and Robin? Yeah, it's Batman and Robin is not actually part of the Batman series, but it's actually supposed to be a movie about Batman and that was played in Gotham.
A movie about Batman that was played in like a movie theater in Gotham?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
in that fit, like it was a movie that would have been set up
because it came out so bad.
That sounds like what?
That sounds like something somebody made up after the fact because this movie was so terrible.
I can't remember everything I read about it. I mean, it's definitely probably not true, but it's like they brought up some points, like if you look at certain things in the movie, and one of the things that they talked about was it was so cartoonish that it was maybe, I don't know. It's interesting.
I mean, it
was an interesting read.
See it, but I do think that it seems like it was made up after the fact, after they realized how terrible the movie was.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely was that. But, I mean, any movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger should do well. And his part was actually pretty good.
I liked Arnold as well. I don't know. Mr. Freeze is supposed to be kind of a smart guy, and Arnold didn't really come off as smart in the movie. But I liked Arnold as a bad guy. I don't know if I liked him as Mr. Freeze. I would have liked him as something else probably.
It's funny, like he's supposed to be the smart guy, but in the film, definitely Poison Ivy was the smart character.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bane was
so many
like,
bad guys in that.
And Bane was in it, but Bane was
the worst version of Bane I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah, Bane's supposed to be like another smart, like anarchist guy, right?
Yeah.
And he was just like this monster in that movie. Like that's all he was. He was just this big monster.
Yeah, I mean the Dark Knight movie? They pretty much got Bane right for most of the movie.
Yeah.
That movie wasn't the best movie in the world, but
it didn't get this. I mean, it certainly was probably the third best in that franchise.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 movies.
So,
but I think that saying that was the third best is almost like saying, ranking, I don't know, the Godfather movies. Like, they were all really good.
I've never seen any of
and that one was
movies.
Well, I'm just trying to give like an example of like saying, okay, they're all good, but you got to put them in an order. And so that one will be third to me. Speaking of which, Batman versus Superman's coming out pretty soon.
It is. I don't know. I'm not really interested in it.
Nah.
I don't know.
Did you ever see Star Wars?
The original or the new one?
The new one?
No. I don't know if
I didn't either.
I don't know if you. I'm not really a huge movie guy.
I'm not anymore.
My movie watching amounts to like random finds on Netflix. Although I will say, an awesome movie that we saw on Netflix that I probably a lot of people don't like, but I loved it, was The Guest. Have you seen that one?
No.
It's a really campy, cheesy movie about this guy who I don't even know the backstory. There's some kind of weird backstory that they try to put in there where he's like a experiment. Somebody's been experimenting on him or something. He's a soldier that was, I don't know. Anyways, but he shows up to this house and he turns out to be like this super killer guy. But it's a really cool movie. It's like really over the top, and the music in it is awesome. It's like electronica. It's kind of got a little bit of a chiptune feel. Kind of sounds like the music in. Have you seen the movie It Follows? Kind of reminds me of the music in that.
Have you seen? So I saw a movie that was really cheesy, but was actually kind of scary. It was one morning, me and Felicia were up. I think it was like right after Ella had her shot, and we woke up and we flipped on this movie called Unfriended. Have you seen that? Mm-hmm. It's like about these like high school kids that are on Skype. Oh. And like this girl that had died somehow is like on Skype talking to them, and then they all start dying. It sounds super cheesy, and it really is, except for the fact that it's actually done fairly well. So it was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty good.
So they recorded the whole movie through Skype?
Yeah, I mean, it was probably, they probably made it for $20. Yeah, they probably made it for $20. It's Blair Witch-esque as far as budget and everything, but yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe we should talk about Willow.
I was about to say the same thing since we're like 20 minutes in and haven't said a word about Willow other than maybe something offensive.
Yeah. So Willow is, I thought it was, you want to hear some history?
Yeah, that's what I want. History.
All right. So Willow, a game created by Capcom, and it was obviously made after the film, but it didn't really have a lot of the same themes as Willow did in the film. And it was released by Capcom in 1988, or I'm sorry, 1989 for the NES version. And there was also an arcade version. Both were action RPGs. And you ready for this? I'm going to read some Japanese names. We haven't done this in a while.
Sweet.
Yeah. The director, Yoshiki Okamoto.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The designer, sorry, Hiroyuki Kawano and Saigo Ito. And then the composer, which apparently he only knew how to write one song, Takashi Hitaishi. So, but the game got fairly good reviews at the time. It was obviously, a lot of people have said that it was Capcom's answer to Zelda, which it does play a lot, as we already mentioned, it does play a lot like Zelda. Mm-hmm. And it was rated number 89 on IGN's Top 100 NES games of all time. So, obviously, there's we've already talked about the history of the movie, which I was going to include on this part, but it was a George Lucas film that came out in the 80s as kind of a Lord of the Rings-esque epic, but received mixed reviews. Has mostly become more of a cult classic since. There was also Willow games released for the Amiga, the Atari ST, the Commodore 64, and my personal favorite, MS-DOS.
All right.
Yeah, a little MS-DOS action. But they were not related. They were not created by Capcom. They were just other games, other Willow games. So, anyway, Did you have this game? Did you go on some big quest to get this game?
I went on a giant quest to get this game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I went. Here's what I did. First, I looked through my collection because for some reason I thought I had it, but in the last couple of weeks I made that mistake and waited too long, thinking I had it, and then didn't get to play the real version. You know what I mean? So this time, I looked through my collection. So I'm in the closet, thumbing through the collection, which is not in alphabetical order, and it's really bothering me. But I just haven't had time to put it in alphabetical order. It's really getting under my skin. Anyway, so I was thumbing through my collection. Turns out I don't have it. All right. So then I went on the big epic quest. You ready? I opened up my Chrome web browser. I clicked into, I didn't have time to actually go to a store to search for this game. So I ordered it off of eBay. My bad.
Yeah. We'll talk about how much you paid for it after we review the game. But
okay. Let me show you my copy.
Okay. Michael's leaving now. He's walking off. Giving a little play-by-play here. He's putting his headphones back on. And there it is.
Yep. It's stupid lighting.
What's the guy's name? The guy that plays Willow? It always escapes me.
Anyways. I don't know.
What's the guy's name? Do you know the guy's name?
The guy's name is hold on, I think I got it up on one of my tabs. Warwick Davis.
Yes, Warwick Davis. Oh, and I forgot to mention this. Ron Howard directed the film.
Wow.
Really just an all-star lineup.
I'm going to have to watch this again, aren't I?
But only rating at 48% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
Warwick Davis was in Return of the Jedi too, apparently.
He's have you seen his YouTube series? Or I think it's actually maybe a show on BBC, but I've just watched him on YouTube. Life's Too Short. It's always him and Ricky Gervais. Oh man, they are hilarious.
Really? Check that out.
Yeah. There's one with Johnny Depp. It's really good. And my favorite is the one with Liam Neeson. It is so funny. It's just, yeah.
I have to check that out. We've been on a big Curb Your Enthusiasm kick lately.
Yeah, well, me and Felicia have been watching Parenthood, and when I say watching Parenthood, I mean we binge watch them in every sense of the word.
Yeah, you told me people wonder. I was about to say, you were telling me that it was because of your computer that you couldn't record, but then when you told me that you watched the entire every season of Parenthood in a month, I was like, okay, it's because he didn't watch Parenthood.
It's such a good show.
It is. It's perfect.
In every sense, it's there's funny scenes, but it's so real. I was telling Felicia what I liked about it the best is even the stuff you could see that was predictable. You could see it coming from a mile away. I won't say any spoilers, but let's just say people that break up and then get back together. Mm-hmm. And you knew they're going to get back together. They've got to. They did it in such a way that it was never cheesy. It was never oh my gosh.
Oh, I know, because
of course,
the particular one you're talking about, I think they took, instead of doing, most shows would take the breakup and get back together thing. They do it a few episodes. This spans the entire second half of the series.
Yeah, right.
It makes it feel more real,
Yeah, it's so good. It's just such a good show.
Everything in the show is basically predictable, but it's just done in such a way that it's just good. Yeah. It's satisfying when it actually happens, Anyways, we don't want to get off on
Craig T. Nelson. Craig T. Nelson is the best ever.
Coach is in it, and he's hilarious. Yeah. I want Coach to be my dad.
One more television tangent, and I swear I'm done.
Okay.
Fuller House came out Friday. Have you seen any of it yet?
No, Matthew said it wasn't very good.
I've watched 2 episodes. I watched the first episode, which is essentially, it wasn't very good, but it was kind of almost a necessary evil. It had to. they had to like get all of their Full House jokes out of the way.
Okay.
Like they got all the characters there and kind of got them all there and all the homages to the original kind of out of the way.
Okay. So they just got all that out of the way right
right
off the bat.
Yeah, instead of spacing it out, which Girl Meets World I think does a better job of that.
Yeah, they do. I was about to say the same thing.
You know, I don't know. Jury's still out on me. I've only watched 2 episodes. I've not.
Did you say Jerry?
Huh?
Did you say Jerry? Like Jerry Seinfeld?
Yes.
Sorry. Jerry's still out on you. Yeah.
Drew's still out on me. The first 2 episodes I haven't been too impressed about, but I'm not going to make a call yet.
Okay, so you're going to keep watching it?
Yeah.
I may wait until you tell me whether it's worth it or not. I wasn't a huge Full House fan, so...
Yeah. I'm trying to get my wife to watch Coach. She loved Craig T. Yeah, she loved the Craig T. Nelson character. I was like, well, you got to watch Coach. Coach is such a good show.
He's not really the same character, though, in Coach.
Kind of.
He's a little more serious in Coach.
Yeah, that's true.
Because they got the other comic relief guy, whatever his name is.
Jerry Van Dyke.
Yeah. Okay, can we talk about Willow, please?
Yeah, let's talk about Willow.
The listeners are just, the D-padders out there, they're just like, you guys, stop it with the TV.
We're just sprinkling a little Willow in, a lot of tangent talk.
Yeah, we're just teasing some Willow while we talk about everything else we haven't talked about in the last month because we haven't been able to record.
Okay, so tell me what you thought of this game that you thought you had and clearly left. Yes,
can I do this first?
Captain Commando.
Special message from Captain Commando. Thank you for selecting the adventure-packed Willow.
He personally thanks you for buying Willow.
Yeah, and he signs it, which that signature looks like it came from a 6-year-old just learning how to do cursive.
It's like the most basic cursive you could do. There's no personalization to it.
Yeah,
whatsoever. It's like the cursive on Microsoft Word.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Let's try.
Probably. I don't know. Did they have when did Microsoft Word come out? Was it out way back in the day?
What? You mean Microsoft hasn't been around since the beginning of time?
I don't think so. Been around for a while.
Okay, here's the safety precautions.
Yeah, the usual spiel. Don't use benzene on the game pack.
As if there was just benzene running around.
I've got it laying around, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just the other solvents too, hydrogen peroxide, hydrogen chloride, and all the other hydrogen things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in case anybody didn't notice, I'm actually running through the manual here. Okay, controlling Willow. All right. Throughout the game, Willow will be collecting several weapons, shields, magical devices, and special items.
Magical devices, including acorns.
That's the first one, yeah. There are 2 different sword attacks he can use. The first is a jab or stabbing attack. The second is a swiping attack.
Mm-hmm. Which that's one thing about the game that I really liked. Actually,
the sword play. Yeah.
Well, just how it almost like you start out not very good with it, and then you get better.
And by better, you mean faster.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to read the Willow story, which may be different from the movie if it's anything like the game.
It is different from the movie.
It is a time of great turmoil in the world. Bavmorda, a former messenger from the spirit of the skies, has turned towards evil. Her plan is to rule the world through her twisted magics. Her force is incredible, and her armies are unstoppable. She even dared to transform Finn Raziel, the messenger from the spirit of the earth, into a small animal. Bavmorda believes that there is no one that can stop her. But she has not heard of the tribe of the Nelwins. There had been a prophecy among these people that one of their tribe would help lead the world out of its darkest hour. The High Aldwin, the wizard of the Nelwyn tribe, recognized Willow Ufgood. I'm pronouncing this is like worse than you with the with the Japanese. Me trying to pronounce these Willow words. Get it together, Michael. All right. Recognize Willow Ufgood as the chosen one. The adventure begins for Willow as he leaves his family and friends and sets out to stop all of the evil that Bavmorda has created. Okay, the movie. I remember a baby in the movie.
Yeah. That's the point of the movie. It's almost Moses-esque. He like finds a baby. But anyway, they kind of leave that part out here.
Okay, all right. Items. So you get swords, shields, magical devices, and special items. There are many different types of swords that Willow will obtain in his travels. Each of them have their own strengths and weaknesses. The best strategy is to experiment with the swords that he has to determine which will work best against his foes. Shields. There's also a variety of shields that Willow can collect during his journey. They all provide defense against his enemies. Yet again, some are better equipped to defend him than others. There are several magical spells, weapons, and healing items that will allow Willow to defend and heal himself. They can only be used once at a time, however, and they all use up magic points, people.
Oh, no. All
right, special items. These, once collected, are always in the possession of Willow. He will be able to use their powers repeatedly without using up magic points. Many of the enemies that will face him will ask him to find various items throughout the game. So many enemies he will face will ask him to find various items throughout the game. Do they actually ask him? Like, hey, man, could you find my keys? Totally lost my keys.
Speaking of keys, no, never mind. Go ahead.
You can go on another tangent. It's fine.
No, I don't want to. We've done too many.
Okay.
I'm ready.
I'll continue on. All right. Characters of the game. Willow. Hello. The hero. Okay. Moving on. Mad Margician.
Mad Mardigan?
Mad Mardigan. He's a magician, and but he's like a magician from like deep in the hills of Kentucky, so he's a Margician.
Yeah, he's a mix between a magician and a mortician. So he plays magic tricks while
and the Mad Hatter. So he's the Mad Margician.
he's a mortician that does magic tricks at funerals, and he's also a little bit crazy.
Well, you'd have to be crazy to be a guy that does magic tricks at a funeral.
It's like the family comes to see the family member, and he's like, "Hey, will you pull this scarf out of my coat pocket here?" And just continues on.
No, he's like he walks up to the body. He's like, "What is that? What's that behind his ear?" Up, it's a quarter.
Pulls a rabbit out of the casket.
Hey,
we've taken.
You remember that Nick Swardson skit, don't you, about his funeral?
Oh yeah, one of the classic.
I won't go into that, but if the listeners out there have not heard of Nick Swardson's stand up about his funeral, you should go listen to it. It's hilarious. All right, so the Mad Margician.
Mad Mardigan.
Yeah, I know it's Mad Mardigan.
Okay. It's Val Kilmer's character in the movie.
Okay, he's a warrior. All right.
Yeah.
But I guess he's probably jealous of Willow because the Willow's the chosen one. He's not. That's my guess.
Yeah.
All right. Now, what about Sorsha?
That's right. You got it.
Yeah, I know. It's also it's also she's actually Sasha, but she's also from the deep hills of Kentucky. Sorsha. Sorsha. Hey, Sorsha, do you wash my clothes? Bavmorda's daughter. Willow must find a way to turn Sorsha away from her mother and aid him in destroying the evil in the world. Then there's some brownies.
I always thought that was just the funniest thing when watching the movie was with the brownies. It's just like they didn't really take a whole lot of time in making up the name.
They're not. Yeah, I don't know who they are. It's been too long
Yeah.
since I've seen the movie.
Yeah.
Then there's Finn Rizal, who we mentioned earlier, and General Kale.
Mm-hmm.
Kale spelled Kael, not Kale, like the vegetable.
And everybody loves it nowadays, and it's just terrible.
Yeah, I tried to put it in a smoothie the other day, and I was like, "What is
Oh,
this?"
God.
It's just
Yeah. Yeah, it's terrible.
everybody's like, "It's got so much vitamin A," and I was like, "I'll just take a vitamin."
I'd rather, yeah, why don't you just eat a vitamin or a carrot? A carrot is way better than kale. And I'm not even a big carrot fan.
I like carrots. All right, so there's
Well,
some.
I like carrots when you cook out all the vitamins out of it, like steam them.
I like them raw.
Oh, man, my daughter loves them raw. She would eat like 10 of them.
I'm trying to think. I know there's somebody I know. I think it's John or Slapper Bags. I'm sorry.
Yes.
He loves carrots too, but he loves his carrots smothered in ranch.
So you take out the healthy factor.
Yeah, take out the healthy factor.
He's still getting his vitamin A. Well, John could use some fat.
Yeah, so it's fine. He should probably just drink ranch all the time. Ranch and mayonnaise.
John, the funny thing about John that I've noticed, especially when y'all like live together, I don't know about now that he's married, John's diet was pretty bad, yet he never gained any weight.
Well, he never gained weight because his diet was so limited.
Yeah.
When he lived with me,
junk food.
Oh yeah, it was definitely junk food. When he lived with me, I'm gonna give you a brief rundown on old Slapper Bags meal plan. All right.
Okay.
If anybody wants to go on a diet, here's the Slapper Bags meal plan. If John listens to this show, he's gonna kill me. Anyways, so breakfast, all right. It is a bagel. Mm-hmm. All right. Mm-hmm. So that's nothing wrong with that. Right. All right. Lunch was usually a sandwich and a bag of chips, I think. Like a PB&J, or maybe if he had some ham and cheese or something.
Yeah.
And then he would have some chips. And
which is the same lunch he's eaten his entire life. I went to school with him from elementary school all the way through high school, and he packed his lunch every day. It was always a sandwich and chips. And until high school when he stopped eating lunch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he went to play basketball instead of eating lunch.
Yeah, just stopped eating lunch.
Oh, boy.
So
that's why he continued to eat whenever he lived with me. And I think occasionally he would take a little Debbie with him as a dessert. All right. So then supper rolls around. All right. No snacks in between, by the way. There's no snacking at any other point during the day. So supper rolls around, okay? He slaps down a steak on the George Foreman.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Not like a super nice steak, but not a super cheap one either, but somewhat cheap steak. He slapped that down on the Foreman. All right.
Uh-huh.
And then he would take it from the Foreman onto a plate. He would eat that steak, drink him a glass of milk, and have another little Debbie. And that's pretty much it.
The John meal plan.
The John meal plan. Which, I mean, if you think about each individual part, it's not that unhealthy, really, other than the fact that you're only eating maybe 1,000 calories in a day.
Yeah. And let's be honest, a lot of those calories aren't, great calories.
I mean, there's no vegetables at all, ever.
Yeah. Right.
There's some meat in there, so you get some protein.
A lot of carbs.
There's a lot of carbs in there.
Mostly carbs.
Well, I mean, peanut butter sandwich. I don't know.
Anyways, coming to you all when you all lived together, going to your apartment, and there was like your food, and then John's food consisted of like 4 things, and it was usually a bag of chips, a box of steaks, and a box of fudge rounds. And there you go.
Oh yeah, fudge rounds. That's what they were. But Little David makes fudge rounds, right?
Right. Yeah.
Fudge rounds. That's what they were. Oh boy. Oh John.
So what do you think of this game?
I really dug it. I really liked it. I didn't get to spend a ton of time with it like I wanted to, but I really did like it. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a very time-consuming game, and even on YouTube, the speed runs are like an hour and 30 minutes. Like that's the speed run.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, it's
it's
an
very,
RPG, so
yeah, it's very detailed.
yeah.
Um, and going in the spirit that I don't really care for RPGs that much, it was not bad.
What's
I
an
won't
action
look through
RPG?
it. I won't look through it in my anti-RPG glasses.
Okay.
But
Did you play this when you were a kid?
no,
Your
I
dad
didn't.
did. She's trying to chime in.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I didn't play it as a kid. I didn't even know that there was a Willow game, to be honest with you, until we decided to talk about it. Because I did certainly watch the movie. But, you know, I thought it was pretty good. I don't know, parts of it that I couldn't get. I couldn't decide if I thought the graphics were good or not. And there's some aspects of it that I really thought were pretty neat and that they brought in. I think that the sprites for the bad guys were done really well. You got the big snake guy. I was hoping that the manual would tell me their names because I was interested in knowing what some of their names were.
I think you nailed it. Big snake guy. Yeah.
Big snake guy. And then there's the crab man. Did you see the crab man?
Yeah, Crabman.
Yeah. Skeletons and then just blobs of
Goo blobs. Yeah, goo blobs.
Yeah. Good
Some
blobs.
boars. There's some boars.
Like a rat of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And trolls.
Trolls. Yeah, don't forget about
Which Willow
trolls.
hates trolls. Willow hates trolls. That was a big thing in the movie. Willow hates trolls.
Yeah, I think I remember him. He gets all like kind of scared.
Yeah, he hates trolls.
Yeah, he hates trolls.
And so I thought that the sprite that I didn't like was Willow itself.
Yeah, I didn't either. I thought the Willow sprite was terrible.
They didn't put like any detail in it. Like he doesn't really even have a face. Like I couldn't really even see that.
He looks like a potato.
Yeah. Yeah, he really does. It's just like nothing, and he's got this giant sword. Although I think I'm going to try to do this politically correct.
Okay.
I think that the size of the sword compared to Willow was actually pretty accurate, though. You know how some games it's like the sword is huge to the character, and it's like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
This one actually made sense because Willow is a little person.
Right. Yeah, I think so. I mean, the sense of scale that they did in the game is pretty much right. Right.
Mm-hmm. I think that they actually did the game well, but the thing that I did read this theory, and I couldn't substantiate it. That's why I didn't include it in the history section. That this was a game that was made by Capcom to compete with Zelda. They didn't have a name for it, and then Willow comes along, and they attached the game to the movie, and they named all the characters after the movie characters. And instead of saying we're going to make a game about Willow, they had a game, and they said we'll just attach this game to Willow.
Okay.
Which could be true because there's really very little crossover other than the character names.
Right.
As far as the story of the game and everything.
Yeah.
So,
in the movie, remind me, in the movie, does Willow have trouble walking through tall grass?
Yes. That's one of the funnier parts of the There's the part where he's running and it's hilarious. He keeps falling.
So it is accurate then, because I noticed that any grass that was even slightly tall, you can walk through in the game.
Well, he has a hard time. Yeah.
So there is something in the movie about that, though.
There's a scene. I can't. Yeah, he's running through tall grass where he's trying to catch up or something, and maybe it's not Willow, but it's somebody. It's one of the Nellans, and it's like they're trying to run and they're running through grass, and they just keep falling, and it's hilarious.
That's funny.
Probably not hilarious. I shouldn't laugh at that, but I don't think it was meant to be.
It's meant to be funny, though, right? Is it meant to be funny in the movie?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. So maybe it's meant to be dramatic.
Yeah, it's meant to be dramatic. Oh man, that reminds me of a story from college.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you remember the night we may or may not have been partaking in some
Festivities.
extracurriculars. Yeah. Yeah, there was like a hill there going up to our dorm room, and I had a backpack on that was full of more festivities.
Mm-hmm.
And I kept falling down the hill. I kept slipping and falling, and you kept cheering me on. And I'd keep trying, and then I'd fall again.
I didn't try to help you. I just cheered you on.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh, boy.
So I didn't have this game as a kid, but I remember renting it, right? So I rented it several times. Mm-hmm. This was one of those where I was kind of on the borderline of being able to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I could figure out kind of what to do. Like I could get my sword and I could run around and fight enemies and stuff, but I couldn't really progress through the game because I don't know, maybe this is going to make me sound like a dumb kid. You know, every time we talk about a game that requires any reading or any thought, I always say, well, I had it as a kid, but I couldn't figure it out. So, but this was a game that I couldn't really, I guess, because, see, when did it come out? Did you say 89?
89. Mm-hmm.
So when I played it, I was probably only like 6 or 7.
Right.
So I wasn't super great reader by age 6. So trying to figure this game out, I had trouble. Yeah. But I remember being fun to run around and slice things.
I can't imagine that if I had played it, I would have liked it, because maybe that's, I obviously didn't like RPGs back then because, like you said, we were young. We didn't know how to read. These are like more games that were geared more towards older kids, maybe even adults. Although I don't think adults played video games like they do nowadays. Back then, of course, my dad played like Mario and NBA Jam. That's about it.
Yeah.
But so
I think there were probably adults that were young adults that played video games. So I mean, if you were 18, 19, 20 back in the day, you probably played video games.
But I think the sweet spot for this game would have been about 10 to 14.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Kind of like a early teen.
Yeah, because you've probably seen the movie, liked the movie, and you're old enough to read, old enough to kind of thought process through an RPG. We were probably just too young for that.
Yeah, this game does make it. It's very, very similar to Zelda in the way that it looks and controls and stuff. But it takes Zelda and adds a lot more RPG elements to it. Like there's a lot more questing, kind of, I guess you could say, where you're going and talking to people and doing things. And there's experience that you gain, and as you gain experience, your attack gets faster. Mainly, you swing your sword a lot faster. So there's a lot more RPG stuff in this game than typical Zelda. But I could definitely see how this could be Capcom's answer to Zelda. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. You were talking about the graphics earlier, and I would agree that the Willow sprite is not very good. I would also agree that the cutscene things whenever you're talking to people, I really didn't like those at all. I didn't like the way that they were boxed in. I didn't like the sprites and stuff in those. I thought they were pretty bad. But I loved the backgrounds. I thought the backgrounds or the levels were awesome. And I love the fact that whenever enemies would show up, the grass would blow, like the wind started blowing. Pretty cool. I thought that was really cool. So I really liked the graphics in that sense.
Like going from grass to dead grass.
Yeah.
Do you notice that? Like there was some grass that was green, some grass that was brown.
Yeah, brown grass. Sweet.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Yeah, so I like that. I didn't get far enough to get more magical attacks besides the acorn. But the acorn was cool. Oh, I did get that one where he whips his hair back and forth.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what that's called.
Yeah, it's the one. I think it's called the Willow Smith. I got you.
By the way.
Okay.
Typing Willow into Google, that's like the first thing that comes up.
I know. That's why I said that.
Ugh, who cares about Willow?
I don't know. That song was okay.
Hey, how dare you?
Yeah, no, I didn't really like it.
No, you can't go back now.
Okay, fine. It was okay. It's
Mhm.
catchy. It's catchy.
Mhm.
Whips your hair back and forth.
So anyway,
Speaking of music, though, what did you think about this game's music?
well, it's good except for it's like 2 songs over and
That
over
may be
again.
because we didn't make it far enough into the game.
Well, that's true. I guess
But
I'll
yeah.
find out when I'm editing the episode and I'm downloading the songs. Oh wait,
Oh wait, there's
20
20 good stuff in
songs.
here. No, I
But
listened to some of them on YouTube. They're all pretty good. I guess they're just not laid out very well because the overworld thing. I mean, in the areas that we experienced, at least the areas that I experienced, it was all the same song basically. But that's kind of the name of the game. That's what you do. It was a good enough song that I didn't get like irritated by it
right,
being played over and over again.
right. There's no Friday the 13th.
No.
No. Oh man, I don't know.
The sound
why I was
effects were
thinking
awesome
about-
though. Sorry.
Yeah, I think honestly, it's like the game seems like it was a lot of time was spent on. It's almost the antithesis to most video games made after movies, which are
It's a
usually just
Capcom
thrown
video
together.
game made after a movie, so it's
Right.
Capcom always did right by just almost always did right by their licensed games.
Mm-hmm.
So it's easy. You can take any Capcom licensed game, you compare that to a LJN licensed game. It's just there's no comparison, right? So
Well,
I mean, it's one of those things like when you're going to rent games back in the day, right?
Mhm.
As a kid, there's certain boxes that
Oh yeah.
I mean, like the Capcom, the purple border with the Capcom, on like this,
Mhm.
the Konamis. You see those,
Oh,
and you
yeah.
know that even
Konamis
if the name of the game or the box art didn't really strike your fancy, you knew you were at least going to get a quality game out of it, right? So, I mean, those were definitely the rentals that you should go for. I remember thinking that when I was a kid, thinking, okay, if it's got that Capcom or the Konami on it or Nintendo, then
Yeah,
those are the
black
ones
box. I always thought were black boxes were always one I went for, too.
Yeah. All right. So did you look up any cheats or hints or like tricks or anything?
No, but I think I have got the game facts pulled up. I can probably look it up real quick.
Sweet.
Maybe not. Hold on. Cheats.
Podcasting gold right here.
Yeah, oh yeah. Everybody wants to listen to me clicking through.
And me typing.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Oh yeah. Great pod.
Not only have we not really talked about Willow at all, but we've also, just took breaks to type and click.
Well, there are passwords. That's all the game facts really has.
Okay. Well, that's
And
how the
that
game
just gets
saves your progress,
Right.
basically.
And that's just get start the game with something, which obviously would just be like going to where you left off. So, man, I wish stupid memory nowadays. Kids just don't realize how easy they've got it. They had to
I know.
get notebooks and write down passwords.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, something keeps popping in my head, and it just started popping in my head since we started recording. Was there a part in the movie where somebody said Willow in like a funny way, like Willow or something?
Oh yeah. It's one of the Nell ones. I can't remember his name. Willow, wait.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's coming to me.
One of my favorite lines from the movie was the derogatory term for a Nell one.
What was it?
Peck.
A pack?
A peck.
Like a bushel in a pack?
Out of the way, Peck. Yeah.
How about that?
Well, there's a funny scene where Val Kilmer's he's in like a cage. They've got him like caged, and Willow's talking to him and he's threatening to put a magic curse on him. And Val Kilmer's like, "Go ahead, Peck. Go ahead, Peck." And he says, "Well, maybe I just won't do it." And as he's walking off, Val Kilmer's going, "Peck, peck, 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 peck." So, yeah.
All right.
Maybe I had to be there.
So,
all right.
Got
any?
We need
wait.
How much is it worth?
How much? Well, Amazon's got it for about $7.
Oh, I think I overpaid.
For $4 shipping.
Oh, okay.
What'd you pay for it?
I think it was 10, but I didn't pay for shipping.
Okay. Yeah. So about the same.
Yeah.
Is it worth it?
I think it is.
Yeah, I think overall it's a good game.
I don't think I'm done with it. I didn't get to play it a whole lot. I think I'm going to continue to play it. So I don't think I'll have wasted my money. Normally, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the show. I probably have. But what I've been doing is I get the games, or as I pull them from my collection, I either sell them or keep them, right? As we do the show. Because I'm trying to paring down my collection by doing the show, right? So I think I'll keep this one for a little while, at least a little while.
You're looking at it almost longingly.
Yeah.
Like, this is a keeper.
I think I'll keep you for a little while, Willow.
Stroking it.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that we haven't talked about in the game? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think I'm good.
Okay.
And the gameplay stiff.
Did you come up with any trophies?
I do have a couple of trophies.
I do too.
Two right now, maybe 3 by the time we're done.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and give my first one, and that is Peck, and that is die within the first 5 minutes of playing the game.
Okay.
It's not really a trophy. Not really a
It's the poo-poo trophy. It's the poo-poo trophy.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. My first one is I whip my hair back and forth.
Oh, no.
And that is search for Willow on Google and realize that Willow Smith is more popular than Willow the movie.
Oh, so it doesn't actually have anything to do with the game.
No, not that one.
Okay. All right. My second one is kind of a homage to Warwick Davis, and that is Life's Too Short, and that is beat the game in under 2 hours.
Okay, that's good. Accomplishable. Yeah, I like that. I've got one called Squirrel Food, and that is obtain the acorn. Squirrel food.
Nice. Do you have any more? Because I got to pull something up for my last one.
Okay. Yeah, I can make some up. Okay. There's a
there's one up on the spot.
Okay, I'll make one up on the spot. There's a shield in the game called the Furry Shield. So when you obtain the Furry Shield, you get the trophy called "Are You a Furry?"
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Beat the game is the leg up trophy. The leg up trophy.
All right. You ready?
No, wait, I got one more. When you obtain the dragon sword later in the game, you get the "Now That's a Long Sword" trophy.
All right.
Okay, I'm pulling for straws now. You got your last one.
Yeah. Hold on.
You can't say hold on.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Trolls.
Did
you get it?
It's the trolls.
Listen. Hold on.
Trolls. I hate trolls.
I hate trolls.
I hate trolls. That's an actual line from the movie. And that is kill 4 trolls.
Okay.
That was a little anticlimactic.
Yeah, that was a lot for that. You jumped through a lot of hoops for that one.
Yeah.
All right.
What's funny is in that scene, how they realize there's trolls around. And it's because Val Kilmer's, or Matt Mardigan, steps in a pile of troll crap.
Nice. You mean Mad Mortician?
Yeah, Mad Mortician. Okay.
The game rating? You got one? You got an idea?
Let's see, how are we going to do this?
Look around the room for random objects that we can.
Let's see.
Type
famous little person.
Okay, I guess we could do famous little person. Is that not going to get us in trouble? I feel like it's going to get us in trouble.
Okay, we won't do that then.
How about
famous short person?
Napoleon, who's actually not that short. Turns out.
Danny DeVito.
How about famous mortician?
Okay.
No. Magician. There we go. How about a magician? We talked about magicians.
Okay. All right.
Have we done that one before?
I don't think so. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Famous magician.
Right. All right. Let's see. Well, I'm not going to give him my favorite magician.
David Copperfield.
Yeah.
Hey, remember that time we saw David Copperfield and he made the car disappear? That was crazy.
That was one of the best shows I've ever gone to. And remember that guy took your jacket off for you?
Yeah, that was crazy. So fancy.
Except he didn't work there or anything. He just was sitting next to you.
I know. It was just a really nice older guy.
Yeah. Here, let me help you out with that.
Let me help you out.
So I got to think of another magician.
I'm gonna go with David Blaine because I feel like this game's kind of just a passing thing. You know, you like much like David Blaine. I feel is just kind of like a passing thing. He was famous for a brief minute. People kind of forget about him. I feel like that's kind of
David Blaine's kind of still famous.
Well, every now and then he pops back in, right? That was my next point. Was every now and then he pops back into fame. It's like, oh, David Blaine's doing something. All right, well, it's kind of like Willow. I feel like it's kind of like Willow, the movie and the game. You know, it was popular. It faded from popularity. It comes back every now and then. People are like, oh yeah, Willow. It's kind of like how I feel like.
That's a good one. And David Blaine's pretty good, so you know.
Yeah, he's all right. Although his levitation thing's kind of silly.
Yeah,
but his other stuff's cool. I like his card tricks. His card tricks are pretty cool.
See, the thing that I don't like about David Blaine is he tries to bring it simple, which I guess a lot of people like. You know, just doing it on the street. Mm-hmm. What I want to see in Magic is like making the Statue of Liberty disappear, like David Copperfield did. You know?
Yeah. No, I mean that he's no comparison to David Copperfield. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm going to give it Siegfried and Roy.
Okay, you're going to give it 2.
Well, they're a combo.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
You can't really give them. Siegfried and Roy are one of those things that, if you're in Vegas back then, you had to see them, because I was just something.
Then one of them got eaten, right?
They were good, but were they the best ever? No, but they put on a good show. I think that's what this game did. It puts on a good show. It's a good play, but they're not the best.
Yeah, they're also somewhat fragile to tigers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. You want to do some listener feedback?
Whatever happened to that Chris Angel guy?
Now that's a guy I did not like at all.
No, he was terrible.
I thought he was terrible.
And he is fallen off the face of the earth, which I cannot be sad about.
Nope, not sad about that one.
You ready for some listener feedback? I've got it pulled up.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, I'm ready. I've
Well,
also got some emails and some iTunes and some voicemails. We got a lot of feedback today.
Oh boy, here we go. Ready? Peter Guzman, also known as
Dude Panda.
Dude Panda. I just played the arcade version. Now that's a fun game. I don't remember the movie at all. Panda, come on. Ryan R. Jackson says, I love this game as a kid, but I never got very far. Some have compared it to Zelda, but it has its own distinctions. All in all, it's a fun game. Tim Wilder said, love it. Still my collection from when I was a kid. Chris Vanderhoff, who he's the guy who had us through this game, and he's probably sorely disappointed. OMG, it's Willow. Yeah. There's a train.
Yeah,
Trains, you've got a lot going on right now. You got train, dog.
Yeah, that all for the 2-star.
All for the 2-star. Yeah.
Gotta keep him happy. Or keep him unhappy.
Mike Vito, you just gave a picture of the cartoon character, the critic, says, it stinks.
It stinks.
And Aaron Hickman said, asked him to elaborate because he said he's in the minority. And Mike Vito says, honestly, I'm reliving my playthrough of playing this when I was a kid. I do have this in my library. I'll give it another go and see how I fare.
Let's see if he comes back.
Yeah, we'll see. Derek Fletcher said, yes, a fave of mine. Had this when I was a kid. Always liked it, but could never beat it as a kid. Thank goodness for Game Facts. The movie is also awesome, but doesn't quite hold up today. Like Zelda, but not an underrated hidden gem in the library. Sorry, had to use the G word. Ugh.
What's the G word?
Gem.
Oh, yeah, that's a naughty word on this show.
Yeah. Mark Davenport said, loved this game as a kid, though the movie scared me.
Trolls.
Yeah, trolls. They'll do it every time. Joe Copel says, not a huge fan of this game, but that doesn't mean it stinks. A lot of fun elements and doesn't follow the movie. This is a game that was developed and a license was slapped on it, and it shows. Aiden Rogers says, hadn't heard of this. Oh, Aiden. Of course, Aiden, I think, is a little younger than most of the crowd on this.
He is a younger guy. And I think he's not even from this country, so.
Okay.
So he's a young foreigner.
Yeah.
So
and yeah, come on, man. You gotta at least see the movie. And play the game.
You'd like it. I think you'd like it, Aiden. You should check out the movie if you get a chance.
Andy Lewis said, I remember getting the map in a Nintendo Power and never having the game. But the map hung on my wall for years. Dang, now to go in this game. That's pretty funny.
You really like the map, huh?
Yeah. It's just cool. It's a cool map. No, he put it up on the wall. It's like, one day I will get this game.
One day I will own you.
One day. And I will know everything about it already.
Oh, he's going to be able to beat it in under an hour.
Yeah. Landon Long, I've only played about the first hour or so, but it was a fairly fun game. Had some great music. Gabe Van Gilder says, I just watched the movie last week. The game character was way more cooler than his character in the movie. He could actually cast some pretty cool spells. I never played Batman. This was the best movie franchise game I've ever played besides Superstar Wars.
That's an awesome comment.
Okay, maybe you should, not to criticize Gabe, but maybe this was the best franchise game I ever played should have been before I never played Batman.
Yeah.
I just love
that
it.
game. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Cast some pretty good, cool spells. I never played Batman.
We get what you're saying because of what came after that, but
yeah, it was almost a stealth comment.
Yeah,
stole
I like it. I like it. It's very sneaky.
Yeah,
I think I want to
he-
I like to think that he did that for comedic effect on purpose.
I think he did. I think he did. And he came back with the next comment that said, "I believe it had RPG aspects. Could be wrong. Been a while. I only beat it once." That's a humble brag there.
I only beat it the one time.
Yeah. Okay. Greg Polander says, really enjoy this game and always liked it since it first came out. Good movie also, and this game is better than the arcade Willow game. It's a good starter adventure RPG, I think. Challenging in spots without being super difficult. Good graphics and music. Follows the story of the movie pretty well and not overly long to beat either. A hidden GEM on this NES on the NES. Come on, Greg.
We're going to have to come up with another
I know that
word
was
that
just a
people can
slip.
quit using.
I know that was just a slip, Greg, but
Kind of like when I stub my toe and I start sounding like a sailor.
Mhm.
It's an accident.
Right.
Total accident.
Right.
I mean, Greg, do you call your SNES games on your SNES podcast? Do you call them gems?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I don't think you do.
That's
At
what
least last episode I heard, you didn't call anything a gem.
Speaking of Greg, happy belated 40th birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, buddy.
Just the other day was his 40th birthday, so there you go.
It's a big one. It's a milestone, right?
That's right. All right, Humberto Montoya says never played it.
That's fair.
William Nichols says curse word, never played it, but I remember it. I feel old now. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Really liked this one and was pleasantly surprised by it back then. Usually games with movie tie-in blows and are shallow at best. But this was a great adventure, good music and graphics. And that was by Matt Daly. I didn't say that at the beginning. Gabe Van Gilder, I'll go ahead and read this comment. So the story for this movie was written by George Lucas. I believe I still don't understand why so-called fans of Star Wars turned on him. I guess I never will. I believe he is still an amazing storyteller. I hope he moves on, ignores the haters, and create more amazing stories like this one. And then Jeff Weber came back with a comment about why people didn't like George Lucas. I'm just going to kind of skip that, if that's okay. Because Jeff does come back to talk about this game. Jay Jorgensen, Dude Jay, the box for this game is seriously terrifying. I'm going to have nightmares tonight, jerks. All right.
The Val Kilmer drawing on is pretty good, though, actually.
Yeah. Even the Warwick Davis looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I thought it was more like grocery store smut-esque.
Yes, it is, actually.
Drawing.
It kind of reminds me of, what was that we had to read?
Fabio?
No, what was that we had to read for Foster's class?
Oh, yeah.
JJ?
The big thick books.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. It's something. Yeah. John Jakes.
John Jakes.
Oh, John Jakes books were terrible.
This could be a John Jakes book.
Yeah.
If you replaced all the medieval stuff with American Revolution.
Mm-hmm. Civil War.
Yeah.
No, it's mostly yeah.
Anyway,
whatever.
Moving on.
Aaron Hickman says, I remember us buying this one from a rental place called Jay's Video. I spent many hours on this one, and there is definitely a nice Zelda feel to things with an RPG twist. The animations were great too. This game was doing the Link to the Past spin sword animation before it was. Another Capcom home port that was nothing like the arcade game. Looking at you, Strider, but this game was more polished. Sean Muldowney says, this is one of my favorite games. Woo! And super amped with the game. The gameplay was super unique. I can't compare that to any other game. The sense of discovery wowed me.
Huh. I don't know. I would have to say that, honestly, Sean, this game compares even more so than to Zelda. It compares to the game you came and joined us for the show on. Mm-hmm. Crystalis. I think it's, compares quite a bit to that one too. Anyways,
Yeah. Okay, Jeff Weber says, "Oh no, that's the game I was going to play." All right. You can play it with me as far as the level 3, but that's it. Okay.
all right. It's a good thing I didn't make it past level 3 then.
Yep, that's
I'm
right.
just kidding. I think I did actually.
And Chris Vanderhoff, again, but this is his more review of the game, says, "I love this game. A very good RPG on the NES, very Zelda-like, and it gives it a run for its money. Typically movie tie-ins on the NES suck, but this is one of, possibly the only, exception." And then there was a debate over exceptions.
Okay.
Gail Wilson says, "Hopefully the game is better than the cover art." Christopher Hodges says, "My favorite game of all time."
Big ups to Gail Wilson, one of the few female commenters we've had ever. So
Yeah.
thanks for that.
We are widening our breadth.
Yep.
The Christopher Hodges says, "My favorite game of all time. That stars a peck armed with magical acorns." Seriously, though, I did rent this a lot as a kid. I need to find a copy of it because this is one of those games I always wanted to complete, but never did. Ivan, the great Ivan. Ivan Kaproth Jocelyn. Notice how I had to kind of read that in a little bit of an accent.
Oh, you did? I didn't notice.
Ivan Kaproth Jocelyn.
Okay. He also had to make like a really weird, creepy face.
Yeah. Great music when themes manage to play for a while, at least. Theme music for quick battles doesn't work well, but the themes themselves are well done. All right, Ryan Reynolds. Again with his Van Lauder guy. Oh.
Well, Deadpool now, right?
Huh?
He's Deadpool now.
Yeah. That's right. I like the first line of his comment. "My cat was obsessed with this game. He was usually really standoffish and didn't really like people, but whenever I played this game, he would sit on my lap and watch. Then he would try to attack Willow on the screen and then come sit on my lap again. It may have been due to the large sprite size."
Nice. Hey, funny story. My cat that I used to have, Zelda, she would play duck hunt. Like she would try to attack the ducks as they flew.
Nice. Cats playing video games. It's one of my favorite YouTube videos. Find some cats attacking a TV.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Oh, Clever the Great says, "I don't remember too much about this game. However, I did play it as a kid. I loved the movie and begged my mom to buy it for me, but she didn't. LOL. I do remember going into people's houses in the game and fighting some green reptile-looking dude. LOL." All right. And that wraps it up.
A lot of good comments this time.
Yeah. A lot of comments.
All right, I've got an email.
Okay.
You're going to like this one. This one is from Padres40. He says, "Thanks for all the Ray-Ban spam that flooded my email that I've had since 1997. Remember I gave his email out on the show?
Oh. Yikes.
I'm just kidding. He's just kidding, though, I think. Because then he follows up with, "What did you guys think of the graphics and sprites for Willow? I think they're great and colorful with cool movement. The music was good as well as the controls. This game is a Capcom hidden G word. Talk to you guys on the next one." So thanks for the email, Padres. I will not give it out again. Let's see. I have some iTunes reviews too.
Okay.
Let's see. So we've got this one's from the Surfing Dad, 5 stars. "I love this podcast. The two dudes play well off each other and are well informed of the games they're covering. They just need to bring back Mario, and I'd give them a 6-star rating. They'd be well off to get a nice cheap sound studio at the Dollar General, but hey, we can all dream." I like that. That's a little throw out to the 2-star there. They'd be well off to get a nice cheap sound studio at the Dollar General, but hey, we can all dream.
Yeah. And you know what? I think maybe next episode we need to try to book Luigi to come back.
Yeah, we can get Luigi back. Mario's he's a goner, as far as I know.
Luigi last time was not very talkative and seemed very angry. Maybe things are better now.
Yeah, we'll try to get Luigi on next time. We'll get him to come back.
Yeah.
So I got another iTunes review. This one is from Prime Minister Pete Nice. Oh, from the Prime Minister. Ooh, the Prime Minister of where? I don't know, but
yeah.
I came across this podcast when searching for NES-specific gaming podcasts. I'm glad I caught this late, as I have many shows to listen to and catch up on. This podcast is somewhat like VH1 Classics, That Metal Show, where Eddie Trunk and two of his friends just talk about the hard rock, heavy metal music that they like and do reviews and interviews, etc. Two Dudes in a Nest does the same, with focusing on one specific game per episode. They go through how they found the game, the manuals, gameplay, the game music, which they have playing in the background for the entire show, which I love. Which, thank you for that feedback, because we're always curious if people like that or not.
Right.
And retro game trophies. I love listening to it while at work. A lot of shows bring back great memories of the games. Also, they've inspired me to start collecting NES games. Star Tropics is going to be a purchase soon. I can't wait to hear their take on Legend of Zelda and Super Mario 3. Thanks for the great show, dudes. Keep it up, Pete. Thanks, Pete. Star Tropics should definitely be one of your first pickups, if you ask me.
Yeah. I love that game.
I love it. I love it so much. Did I tell you I got a complete copy with the letter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got it. I'm hoping that maybe I'll frame the letter one day, because I love that letter. It's cool, and it's unused letter. It's not been dipped. So
yeah.
Ultra Lavos over on Twitter. Ultra Lavos also says, "Love the movie. When I saw the game for rent, I took one look at the screenshots on the back, and I knew I would love it." So thank you, Ultra Lavos. And then I think we actually got something on. Well, maybe not. I thought we had something from Google Plus, but I seem to have lost it.
Going back on the sound studio comment.
Mm-hmm. We getting one?
Well, no. I was just going to say, maybe we can improve our sound studio or our sound. Maybe if I move closer, which is probably going to happen in 4 months, we can start doing shows live, and maybe we can improve the sound.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely improve. If we start doing that, we'll definitely improve. Well, we'd also improve if you'd like to go to Patreon and make a donation. We could also work to improve on getting better microphones, etc.
I think though that the microphones are working pretty good though. I think that if you go back and listen to like our very first show compared to now, we've made it leaps and bounds.
Yeah, definitely. I think we could make a few more leaps and bounds eventually. Maybe I would love to have and this would work better once if we start recording live. But I would love to have a soundboard where we can plug in the stuff, like the music and stuff, externally, and just record all at the same time.
That'd be sweet.
Sound effects and stuff,
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Just various things,
Yeah. We could get Slapper Bags to be the sound effects guy.
Yeah. He could be our sound engineer. Like, I hear the podcast all the time where they're talking about they have a sound engineer in the room, I'd love to have one of those.
Right.
Yeah. We need help. Patreon.com/NES dudes.
Yeah.
And let's see, the Willow comment from Google Plus is from Ryan Ballard. It says, "Never played it, though I enjoyed the flick as a kid." So thanks, Ryan. Appreciate that. Man, we're running kind of long. We do have voicemails. Some of them are pertinent to this episode.
Okay.
So let me see here. I know I definitely want to play this one. So here we go.
Hey, what's up, dudes? Hey, I heard you guys were talking about Willow this time. I got like 4 copies of that game, and I wish there was some place that I could go to trade them or maybe even like sell them and get some money for it. You guys wouldn't happen to know of like a place to go, would you? Oh, you guys have a Facebook group dedicated to trading and selling? Oh, man, that's awesome. What's it called? All right. Two Dudes Traders. All right. You know what? I'm going to check that out, and I'm going to get rid of some of these copies of Willow. So thanks for the information, guys. Keep up the hard work. Talk to you later.
That was Andy.
I thought that was that group was for people that used to listen to Two Dudes in a Nest and now listen to Genesis Gems.
No, that's the Two Dudes Traitors.
Oh, okay.
Traitors. Yeah. That's the Two Dudes Traitors group. Yeah.
Okay.
This is Two Dudes Traders.
All right. Just yeah. Okay.
You know what? I think we could save some of the rest of these. I've still got some more, but run a little long.
All right.
A little long in the whatever they call it there.
Long in the show.
Yeah.
That's what they call it.
I think that's what they call it. Yeah, long in the show.
Okay.
All right. Tell them where they can find us.
Well, you can find us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, all that jazz. Of course, our website, twodudesinanest.com, nestdudes.com, and nintendudes.com. And, of course, you can always call us and leave a voicemail, and we promise on the next episode we won't have as many tangents, and we will play that voicemail. And you can call us at Michael.
Our telephone number.
Yeah.
Which is, just kidding. I just teased you again.
I know. You're
775-773-8761. Now, I will say, if you, the website upgrade is coming along nicely, and I think that if you go to one of those websites that Justin just mentioned, from a mobile phone, that it will look different than you're used to. It'll look fancy, right? It'll look kind of fancy.
Check it out.
Oh, Justin's going to do it for us here.
Yeah.
And in the
keep talking. I got it.
Okay. And in the upper right corner of this fancy new mobile version of our website, there's a little telephone thing. It's a little telephone. It's off the hook. It's like the hand holder thing. If you click on that, you will call us. That's all you got to do. You go to our website, upper right corner, click on it.
I see it. It's right here. Yeah. Right here. Right up here in the upper corner.
You click that, it'll say, do you want to call the Two Dudes in an S? And you say yes, and then you call us. Boom.
I like it.
Super simple.
Still love the logo.
Still love man. Jason Knopp, he really pulled through on that logo thing.
Yeah, he did.
But you know what kind of gets under my skin, and this is probably thanks to that hoser Nick Stevens over on the Genesis Gems. If you go to the retrojunkies.com and you go to the podcast section and you look at all the wonderful podcasts there, right? All the wonderful podcasts that we have, which is a bunch, SNES podcast and Retro Junkies Super Show, and which I think is called Winging It Now, and Retro Obscura, and of course Genesis Gems is there. But they've got their fancy logo there on the website, right? They've got our old logo on there.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're going to have to fix that.
Yeah. It could also be because I haven't given him a pristine copy of our logo. No. But I'm thinking it's because it's not my fault. It's his fault.
Yeah, it's not your fault. Yeah, not at all.
But that being said, if you would like to see what shows are on the network that we are part of, the Retro Junkies Network, you can go to theretrojunkies.com and you can see all the shows there. So I suggest you do. There's lots of other good shows. Pretty much any video game system that you can think of is on there. Retro game systems.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's pretty good, right?
Yep. I think we've got a good show there. Next week or 2 weeks, whatever, we'll see you again.
Yep. We don't have a game yet, but we will sneak it into the post-production.
Wait a minute. We don't have a game? I hear the music.
Wait, we do. Yeah, there. Okay, now we have a game.
That's the game. Okay. All right.
See y'all.
See you next time.